Hello all, welcome to my YouTube channel, Skill RPA. Till now we covered under the series of real-time use cases, supply chain management, we covered requirement gathering and preparation of PDD, like as is flow, to be flow, and how we are going to prepare the document, how we are going to capture the detailed steps, and then we looked at effort estimation and timelines, how we are going to define the timelines, and we started with the solution design, and we created the solution flow. And this is our solution flow we discussed in the previous session, and you can access these documents from here uh, with the link in the description. And now we'll start with the preparation of solution design document. So our process name is supply chain management PO tracking. We need to track the purchase order with the ship date, order date, and who is the point of contact agent for each state. And here, when it comes to the solution design document, we need to provide all these details, and this is a predefined template. And here will be the document owner will be a person from business team, either their manager, or we need to check with them who will be the owner. And author is solution architect. And the status is like we can say draft or final, but when we are started preparation, we'll be keeping it as draft, and when we get the approval and once finalized, then we will be keeping the status as final. And we need to provide the names like who is going to approve this like in principal approval or final approval. So we need to provide the details of the persons. And the log initially, if we say 1.0, and who implemented the document, and the document submission date, and we can put the date and change description. Initially, when we are going with the draft, initial draft, and in case if we are uh, going to write one more version, then what are the changes we implemented from the previous version to the next version, that we are going to define here. And client SME details, like who is the point of contact for any business queries, like process related to queries, we will be giving their details here. And let us come to our document. Like first, we'll be providing the objective, and we need to just fill up the process name. Process name is supply chain management PO tracking, and we need to give a high level process view here. Um, need track the purchase order details for POs, purchase orders, numbers which are in supply chain management tool from procurement anywhere application. Application. Enter the purchase order details, ship date, order total, and agent. And the solution scope is PO numbers available in supply chain management tool. This solution scope, what actually it defines is whatever is mentioned in this document, that is scope for the implementation, and anything which is other than that will be out of scope. Scope for automations is all PO numbers in supply management tool application. And what are the application? We need to mention what are the applications we are using in this. We are using supply chain management application, and this is an external application for our process, but in general in companies we need to define whether it is an internal application or external application. Internal application is something that which we can access only inside the network, and external applications is like we can access the application even from your personal laptop or like outside of the network as well. And this is external, and the type is web application. Credentials are required to for this application? No. What access we required? Both read and write. And we need procurement anywhere application. And even this is also external to me. And type is web application. Do we require credentials for the robot? Yes. We are not having anything with us, but we are taking it from this application. So for logging into this application, the credentials are required. And what are the permissions we need here? Only read permissions. Read only permission, because we are not updating anything in this application. We are just fetching the details against that particular PO number. Let me delete this entire row. And what is the project name we have? Supply chain management PO tracking. And the robot type, whether we need a front office robot or back office robot, um, which means like whether it is an attended process or unattended process. So here I want the robot to be triggered manually, so I'll go with F4. There are multiple like we need to consider what type of process it is. It is completely running it is running continuously and completely an unattended execution, then we'll go for a back office robot. And orchestrator is used. Yes, we are going to use the orchestrator by adding the queues, and we are storing the assets also. Is it scalable? If I put as, then we see what is scalable means, like whether we can attach multiple robots for the same process or not. Here I'm not attaching multiple robots, but I need that feasibility because going further I'm not sure about the volume, so we'll be keeping yes. And what version of UiPath we are using? So let us suppose if I say 2022.4 version, like whatever we have the patches and all, we can give that. And what the requirements is, like we need to have UiPath installed on the machine and a back office robot. But here we are going with front office robot license, as I mentioned here. Robot has access to all required applications. Yes, it needs to have all the application accesses. And here we are taking a robotic enterprise framework for building our automation. And the process name is supply chain management PO tracking. So this is generally typical RE framework screenshot. I just attached it here. And how we are going to manage the credentials is we are putting the credentials in assets. But here we don't have any credentials predefined because we are going to get it from this application. We will be updating that credentials back to the orchestrator asset, uh, uh, credential asset, and then we will be utilizing that in the process. And total exceptions we uh, identified is exceptions, uh, two business, and we have two more technical. So total 4 exceptions are identified here. So I'm not removing this. I don't have any source or something. So yeah. So we have two processes, and the dispatcher will add the PO numbers to queue, and performer will consume the queue data. So we are using RE framework to implement this, but dispatcher, like we are just going to write a sequence, and that we are going to invoke in the performer, like in the RE framework. So that is my design. Like, see, it depends on us, like how we are going to implement dispatch and performer. Like we can implement both dispatcher in RE framework separately and performer in RE framework separately. Dispatcher process is to extract PO numbers from supply chain management application and add to queues, orchestrator queue for the performer process to consume. As I said, like we'll be using that inside the framework. So these detailed steps separately for this is not required. But if in case if we are going with both dispatcher and performer in RE framework, then we need to have these detailed steps. Anyhow, like we are going to write these steps in the performer. So, and even this structure is also not required for this. Let me remove this as well. And yeah, performer will fetch the PO number from the queue item and will be extract. We are just giving a high level description of the process here, like what dispatcher will do and what performer will do. We'll extract ship date, order total, and state from procurement application, and get agent name based on state. State, and enter the details to supply chain management tool, and we need to put our whatever we created the flow, right? So we just need to put that flow here in this. After this, now we will be writing our detailed steps. Let me just remove unnecessary new lines so that like so the detailed steps. Trigger. First we need to define trigger. Here I said like manual User starts the process manually, and from the step 2 we need to write our detailed steps how the process is going to. Let me put a break here. Yeah. So these are the detailed steps we need to give, and component structure we need to give. We'll come back to these two later after completing this. And there is nothing to change here, but here we need to say procurement team. So the business team. So whenever it gets the exception, we need to send an email notification. Here it is again, business team, which is procurement team. In case if any business exception occurs, robot will log error message and later can be reviewed. Reporting type, we don't have anything here in the manual action. We don't have anything to do. So we'll write the exception scenarios here. PO number not found in procurement anywhere application. Agent mapping is name is not found in agent territory mapping. We don't have anything here. Process maintenance is need to monitor if we are coming across exceptions frequently. We don't have any process maintenance here because we don't have any even the mapping is also we are getting it from the application itself, so there is nothing to do it from here. How often the solution will run? Daily. And how many cases is the solution expected to handle? Like for on daily basis, let us suppose an average of 10. Is the solution runs outside of the normal working hours? No, because we are saying that like it will be triggered by the human. What time will the solution start? Let us suppose at 10 a.m. PST. What part will the business play within end-to-end process? Triggering the process and validating business exceptions. Will business or that support team will resubmit? No. So it depends on our process. Here it is no. So in case if we have any like in case like we are getting failed everything, then we just need to revert it back to the manual. So we need to have a backup plan for the human, like we cannot directly remove the people, like move the people out and hand over this completely to the robot. In case if any unhandled exceptions occurs, or like in case if the bot is not responding, then we need to business team needs to carry the uh, process manually. The key assumptions are PO number details are available in procurement anywhere application. Procurement application credentials are available in supply chain management application. For every state, we will have agent name mapped in agent territory mapping file. So we'll be reviewing this document on every 12 months, and then we'll be updating it in case if any changes are there into the process. So let me put the same here. Don't want to change it. Okay. PO number not found. Agent name not found. Yeah. Now we need to write the steps here. Open supply chain management application. Next step, download agent territory mapping spreadsheet. Extract all P1 numbers from supply chain management application and add data to queue. After that, open procurement anywhere application and login to the application. So we need to add one more point here. Let me do one thing. Insert a row above. Get procurement anywhere application credentials from supply chain management application and update credential asset. Procurement application credentials. After this, get P1 number from queue. and then will be search PO number in procurement anywhere application. Get ship date, order total, and state from procurement anywhere for given PO number. Let me write 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.1, 8.2. Get agent name from read the data and store in DT agent territory mapping data table variable based on state extracted in step 8.2, 8.3, 8.4. Enter ship date, order date, and select order date and select like enter ship date, order date, and select agent name for given PO number, and then 8.5, go to step 7. If PO number is not available, click on submit button and close the applications. If PO details are not available, go to set status to business exception and go to step 7. If agent name is not available, then to step 6. Okay. Or any other system exceptions in this scenario, right? For all this, it will be, let me do one thing. Yeah, till here, in case if anything happens, then we need to immediately for any system exception, close all the applications. So these are the steps what we need to perform. So let us come to this component structure. So these are the by default whatever we have, and let me add few more. So here what I will do is I'll component dispatcher. So opening of the applications will be there in that. Let me go for components. Procurement anywhere. Login to procurement application. Log out from and get PO details. Supply chain management and open supply chain management application. Close supply chain management application. Enter PO details in supply chain management. So here this will be in init. Login will also be in init. Open will be in init, and remaining will be in process. This will be in process. This will be in process. This will be in the init and process. Okay. So with this, we completed our uh, solution design document. And from the next session, we will see how we'll be setting up the RE framework, how we are going to create the assets, and how we are going to create the queues, and how we are going to automate this process. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to Skill RPA YouTube channel.